So we're going to talk about my very first ever metal festival. And my very first ever metal festival was July of 2004, going to Ozzfest. And Ozzfest was a traveling festival here in the United States. And it was from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night. And it was every kind of metal band you could think of. But back in those days, it was more new metal. So it was more like Disturbed, Lacuna Coil, Mudvayne, Trivium, that kind of stuff, like the new metal stuff. And you guys might be saying, well, I'm not a fan of new metal. Well, this was the metal that was very popular in the early 2000s, and I got to go because a friend of mine offered to go because he had a free ticket because his mom bought him tickets to go because it was his birthday. So I looked up the lineup, and this is way back in the day. Like I said, when you didn't have YouTube, you basically had Yahoo Music videos, and it was very hard to actually search for musical artists online to actually look up videos to hear these different bands. So I looked up a lot of the music, and I watched a lot of Headbangers Ball just to get acclimated to a lot of what these bands were performing. Because, like I said, just with a lot of new metal bands, a lot of bands I didn't know, but a lot of them I do know. So it was like Hatebreed, Lamb of God, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Slayer, Black Label Society, Demo Burger, I guess I pronounced that right. But Demo, however you pronounce it, that band sucked so bad. Like watching a black metal band perform, that was what, I mean, today there's a few songs by that band that I actually like. But going back and watching, when I see them live, they sucked so bad. It was like, their songs like dragged out for like 10 minutes long. And they were like talking about black metal stuff, and I'm like, dude, this sucks real bad. You had Slayer, Black Label Society, Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, and I was blown away by how he would actually put on a very good stage show. For me, all I've ever seen was like people up there in street clothes tearing shit up and headbanging. I never knew metal bands like Judas Priest and Iron Maiden actually put on a stage show. They actually have laser lights. And Rob Halford comes out on his little Harley Davidson in his little leather outfit and is tearing shit up. You know, it was a phenomenal thing. I'm not a fan of that band. Never have been a fan of bands that like hit the high notes and have that kind of Rob Halford type vocal and like King Diamond. Never have been, never will be. I think it's because I grew up in the new metal genre, and that's just how I like my metal. So seeing them live, I have a lot of respect for those bands and a lot of respect for them. But the one thing I do remember is this concert was done on a Monday night because the Sunday night show was canceled because everybody, I guess a lot of the bands were getting sick. So when we showed up, the amphitheater was highly empty. And I remember, I think it was Mudvayne playing the main stage, and Mudvayne actually said, "Are you guys happy?" And everyone's like, woo! And they're like, get off the grass and get your ass in the seat. So everybody rushed the stage, like rushed the amphitheater, and got better seats. And I got to like, I would say the 4th row or 5th row. And my friends actually made it all the way up to the front of the stage where they got to see Ozzy up close and personal. And I was like, damn, I couldn't get that close, because even the security guards didn't do anything, because they're like, we can't do nothing when 30,000 people just rush up to the amphitheater and get better seats because of the artist said to. So getting up there, seeing Ozzy and I think it either was Black Sabbath or it was Ozzy doing his solo stuff. I think it was Ozzy doing his solo stuff. But no matter what, the dude was like in his 50s back then, and he was still jumping around, still having a great time. And Ozzy is one of the hardest working live performers I've ever seen. Every song at his age, he's headbanging, jumping around, telling the crowd to go fucking nuts. And it's crazy to see a guy that's that passionate about music. I'm very passionate. Like, when I go to concerts, I go for the music. I don't need to take weed, take little pills to get me high, get me hyper. I don't need that. I'm there to enjoy the freaking music and enjoy what I'm going to see, because the friend of mine that went after like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, he was done. He was like, I'm done. I don't really want to be here anymore. I've already been here like 6 hours. And I'm like, that's something I've always enjoyed doing, going to concerts, seeing bands, and having a great time. I'm a festival type dude. I love going and seeing multiple different bands. As long as I'm not sunburning and I have sunscreen and I'm outdoors all day, I'll have a great time. But Ozzfest 2004 was my very first ever metal experience, and like live performances, and I was like, dude, that's gonna be so fucking fun to go mosh. And my friend's like, nah, I ain't going in there. I'm not that stupid to get beat up. And I went in there and I was just throwing elbows like this, just throwing elbows and having a great freaking time. And man, I remember I was moshing, and this big dude, like 6'2", 225, was moshing, and he went like, hit me. And I remember I stumbled and fell, and other people picked me up. And he was like, you okay? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm okay. I'm at Ozzfest, baby. And I remember to this day this having a great time. And that's a way to experience stuff with people, man, is when you're moshing and you're colliding with people, and then after the song is over and the crowd's resting for that period of time, and you're like out of breath, and you're with some guy that's sweating his ass off, that is like an instant connection of like, yeah, we're two metalheads, we're here effing it up in the pit and having a great time. And I definitely enjoyed it, man. I don't mosh as much as I used to, just because I'm getting older, but I still crowd surf, I still headbang. But Ozzfest 2004 will always be my one of my favorite times in life, because I got to experience some of the greatest bands I've ever looked up to and greatest bands that I've always listened to, you know. One band that I hope that I get to listen to before I die live is Disturbed, you know, and probably Metallica, I'll be honest, because Metallica is one of my favorite all-time bands. Disturbed is one of my all-time favorite bands, and I never had the opportunity to go see those bands live because, for example, Metallica is way too pricey, and Disturbed doesn't play where I live. But I definitely want to see those bands live because, you know, if I got to see Ozzy, man, and that dude is like the king of rock and roll, the king of metal, the king of whatever. I don't care if you guys don't like Ozzy or you do, but for me, it was just one of the greatest experiences when you hear your favorite songs and the whole crowd is singing along and the whole crowd is just like bopping their head. It's like a rush. It's a feeling that you never experience, man. It's like, I guess you could say it's like an experience of like you getting hella high or hella drunk and you're kind of tipsy. That's what it felt like to me when I was at Ozzfest seeing Ozzy, and he was playing like Sweet Leaf, and he was playing MIB and Iron Man. I was just sitting there the whole time just headbanging, bopping my head, and to this day I still look back and I'm like, damn, I had one of the most phenomenal days of my life just going to this concert. And as always, guys, let me know what your guys' biggest metal festival or metal concert, or just what was your favorite concert that you ever went to. I'm having a great time because I'm a fucking metalhead, man, and I fucking love listening to music. I love going to concerts. Going to concerts for me is a way to release my energy, my anger, my depression, or whatever's going on in my life. I take it out on the music. So music for me, man, is one of the #1 things that will always get me through life. So as always, I'm Trevor, and I'm out.